What's up, folks? I'm Maud, by the way, and welcome back to the Bootleg Pokemon Challenge. Just want to take a brief, just a tiny second to talk about the fact that I just hit 400 the other day, and I just wanted to appreciate that fact because that's insane. I'm not the best, I'm not good at social media a lot of the time. It's just not usually my thing. Obviously, posting consistently is probably a big part of why this works the way that it does, and I just push myself to actually maintain a schedule because otherwise it's kind of hectic. But overall, like, yeah, this is insane, and I'm glad that you guys appreciate, or at the very least tolerate my antics. So at that, let's just get right into it. This is a challenge that I've been doing for 14 episodes or so. Basically, I pick 3 Pokemon out of this little baggie at random, and these are bootleg figurines that I bought off of either Wish or Temu a couple years ago. I have a video like naming all of them based off of what they looked like from forever ago. So if you hear me say names, that's why. But basically, I just picked 3 of these at random, then I proceed to draw them with a unique characteristic of some sort, sometimes based off of their bootleggedness, and other times inspired by real life patterns or just whatever I feel like at that moment. I guess it's just fun drawing them out of the bag because it's like it's a more interesting way to kind of do a random draw, I guess. But yeah, I thought let's just get started and make our first selection. Boop, boop, boop. You. Grant! Yes, my son! I was just thinking about how I haven't gotten him in hands. Oh, my poor boy. Oh, no. Oh, Growlithe is one of my favorite Pokemon, if not my favorite Pokemon. I mean, obviously, like, I have Growlithe and Arcanine. The line is there, and then, of course, you got, like, the Hisuian form, but I liked them before then, okay? Before they were double weak to water, mind you. But this is the worst color scheme. They colored it like a rooster. Like, somebody saw this and was like, I guess this is a rooster. And I mean, I don't blame them because the mold is also terrible. Growlithe merch is unfortunate. I have the Hisuian Growlithe plushie and a Growlithe plush from Build-A-Bear. The Hisuian one is better. The Build-A-Bear one is still kind of meh. But it's my favorite, so I can't not have it. But yeah, this is just unfortunate. Again, it looks like a rooster. Like, looking at it from the distance like this, you'd probably you'd be like, at best, yeah, that's like a little rooster figurine. So interesting. I mean, maybe I could do something Chinese zodiac related to it, seeing it like maybe not Year of the Rooster, but something similar. All right, next selection. Is it Munchlax? This is a pretty solid Munchlax. Enhance. Like, this is honestly one of the cuter ones that I've seen. The colors are off. The eyes are kind of like weird, but like an off-center. But I mean, overall, like the shape is cute. The character is cute. I think it's kind of hard to get Pokemon like this wrong, especially when they're mostly their shape. Alright. So we got a fire type and a normal type, a 1st gen and a 3rd gen. That's when they did all the babies, right? Not 2nd. Okay. Final selection of the day. Get out of the way. Strain. And whoop. Whoop. Oh, it's Ninetales. It's the chair Ninetales. Enhance. It looks like a decorative plant. It's like hollow in the center here. Like, not really hollow, but like it creates like a dip. It looks like a clamshell. Especially from the distance here where you can't see any of the detail. It really is just like a green Adirondack chair. or a clamshell. Or both. Alright, well, we have our selections. We got 2 fire types, 2 Gen 1s, and a normal type Gen 3? 3. That was one of the things as it was introduced in, like, the GameCube games when it wasn't in Gen 2, right? Regardless, I will pop this over to SpeedPaint VoiceOver and show you what I have done for the designs of these three. I'll see you there. So first up, we have the Growlithe, my baby, my son. I have a general bias toward the dog-shaped Pokemon, but I'll be honest, I have a hard time drawing them sometimes. My brain is like, oh, I know dogs, and tries to draw what I know is a dog, but Pokemon dogs aren't always the same dog shape. There's some weirdness going on in the stylization or whatever additions they decided to make for making them Pokemon. One nice thing about the variants, I guess, is that I don't necessarily need to worry about that all that much, because I'm already both making them relatively in my style and changing the design a bit too. I definitely took inspiration from the bootleg for the colors here, albeit a bit more vibrant and less haphazard. Growlithe and Arcanine, to my knowledge, are very inspired by guardian lion dogs outside of Chinese temples, or just lions, I think, that we in the States, we call them foo dogs, but I think that they're just supposed to be lions. They look like dogs, though. But to me, they also resemble the Tibetan Mastiff. They're these huge, fluffy mastiffs, which were bred like guardian dogs and fight off lions and bears. The most sought-after and expensive Tibetan Mastiffs are the red ones, to my knowledge, because they're considered lucky. I decided to make a red Growlithe inspired by this with longer hair to even better represent the Tibetan Mastiff inspiration. Their ears are long, so I decided to add some fur to the end of the Growlithe's ears to make them look a little bit more like weighted down. Even when I draw the fire puppies normally, I tend to give them these contrasting blue eyes. I know it doesn't quite fit the fire type vibe, but it cuts the samey feeling of all of those red tones. I can be critical of my favorite Pokemon's design. Okay, it happens. The red on the pompadour, chest, and hair still really gave me fancy rooster vibes, again like the bootleg, so I decided to name this boy Rooster. Rooster is a Growlithe born at a temple from a long line of devoted guardian dogs. He proudly sports his fierce nature at the temple gates, but everyone is still mostly fawning over him and how cute he is, which isn't very encouraging. One day he will be revered like his formidable parents, but for now he doesn't exactly mind the attention. Next up, we have the Munchlax, which immediately made me realize just how mammalian and cute this entire lineup was. Not that I'm complaining. I think someone in the comments a couple videos ago asked for Vitiligo, so this one is for you. But Vitiligo is a bit different from Piebald, which I have also done, because it is kind of simultaneously a trait and a condition. The unpigmented spots can spread over someone or something with vitiligo's lifetime. What prompted me for this, though, beyond the suggestion, was the really light color of the Munchlax figure, which was more baby blue than the teal Munchlax normally is. I named this girl Frosty because of that, and I gave her the biggest, cutest is for me vibes with the little pensive touching fingers and everything. Frosty was initially named for her lighter coat and blue eyes, but it became quickly noticeable that she had vitiligo when her sparse white markings started growing. At this rate, she'll probably look almost fully white by the time she's a Snorlax. She's the sweetest little baby and has absolutely mastered the art of begging for any and all food she wants, and she usually gets it. Finally, we have the Ninetales, which turned out less a genetic variant in this circumstance and more of a regional variant, almost. I have a tendency to do these too. The species variant, maybe? Ninetales is that off-white, I believe, because they're based off of Amaterasu's Kitsune, which are white in Shintoism, but since they are foxes, I wanted to play with variants on the species. The silver fox. No, not handsome older men, the other silver fox. They have a sort of black base coat with this cool etching of silver on top. I had a similar problem with Ninetales that I did with the Growlithe because they're also very canid. Their head shape is weird to figure out in 3D space. I think my brain also does the is dog thing with foxes in general too, and that's not quite right because their faces are much smaller than dogs, so there was a bit of a double challenge going on here. Ninetales is also one of those Pokemon whose typing I always got wrong. I expected them to be dual types, specifically fire psychic, but they're just solid fire types? Just the fact that they're Kitsune, you'd think that they'd have the practical equivalent of magic at that time, or that they'd be given the secondary fairy type when that came around in Gen 6, something. I made this variant with that in mind and made them at least seem a little bit more psychic in nature, if only this specific one. Because of that, I named this girl Oracle. Oracle is a wild Pokemon outside of a town that has saved many of its residents multiple times. She seems to have a sense of when something is going wrong and rushes in to warn or help. She saved humans and Pokemon in her territory alike from a number of terrible fates, from staving off aggravated Pokemon attacks, finding and directing those who are lost, and even sensing natural disasters. Despite this, she always disappears before she can be thanked properly. The town sees her almost like a guardian spirit. Those are my Pokemon from this week. Make sure to give this video a like if you did like it, and let me know what you think. Which of these is your favorite? It's practically a tie for me, but I gotta favor my puppy in this one too. I'm so happy I got to draw Growlithe, finally. Also, subscribe if you want more fun art challenges like this and other nerdy stuff that I do. I'm on my way to 500 now, so I'll probably be doing something big to celebrate once I do get there, if I do get there. I was thinking maybe trying out streaming on YouTube and maybe drawing the Kanto decks from memory or something, but let me know. At that though, I'll leave this here, and I'll see y'all next time.